Welcome, Baltz families, to this week's Sunday Storytime. Get ready to mark your calendars with this week's news and coming events, which will be followed by a news story for the week. Can't wait to find out what it is. And the final segment will be our Mindful Minute with Mrs. Papa. Stay tuned. In this week's events at Baltz, the first PTA meeting of the school year is happening on Tuesday, September 14th at 5:30. It's going to be a Zoom meeting, and the link will be sent out to families via the Sunday Storytime email.
La primera reunión del año de la Asociación de Padres y Maestros es el martes 14 de septiembre a las 5:30. La reunión será a través de Zoom y el enlace será enviado a familias en el correo junto a la historia de los domingos.
There is no school on Thursday, September 16th, 2021, in observance of Yom Kippur. There is no school on Thursday.
No habrá clases el jueves 16 de septiembre en observación de Yom Kippur. No hay clases este próximo jueves.
We're having a special event. It's a book concert. We're going to be having it on September 18th, Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 12:30. The authors of Simeon Bleeker's Magical Sneakers are going to be coming to do a performance of their book, and we're going to have opening acts including Mr. Green, Scott from the Ellesmere Public Library, and Miss Whitesell, our music teacher, doing read-alouds. Bring your blanket and your chair, and the book will be available for purchase at the event. The paperback is $9.99 and hardbacks are $17.99. We can't wait to see you at our very first book concert.
Tenemos un evento especial. Es un concierto de libros. Será el sábado, septiembre 18, de 10 de la mañana a 2:30 de la tarde. Los autores de Simeon Bleeker's y Magical Sneakers vendrán a hacer una función de su libro y tendremos al señor Green, Scott de la Librería Pública de Ellesmere y nuestra maestra de música, la señorita Whitesell, haciendo unas lecturas para nosotros. Traigan sus sábanas y sus sillas. Habrán libros disponibles para la venta en el evento. Los libros de portada serán de papel, que estarán a $9.99, y los libros con portadas gruesas a $17.99. No podemos esperar a verlos en nuestro primer concierto de libros.
Good evening, Baltz families, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Storytime. I'm Miss Rooney, and I teach second grade. Tonight, I will be reading A Piglet Named Mercy by Kate D. Camillo. Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson lived in a house on Deckawoo Drive. Deckawoo Drive was an ordinary street in an ordinary town. And Mr. and Mrs. Watson were ordinary people who did ordinary things in ordinary ways. One day, Mrs. Watson said to Mr. Watson, "I wonder if we aren't just the tiniest bit too predictable." "Predictable? Us?" said Mr. Watson. "Surely not." "It's just that sometimes I wish something different would happen," Mrs. Watson said. "Things are just fine as they are," said Mr. Watson. But then something different did happen. Someone very small and not at all ordinary found her way to the Watsons' house on Deckawoo Drive. Mr. Watson made the discovery when he opened the door for the morning paper. "Mrs. Watson," he called, "come see." "Oh, the little dear," said Mrs. Watson. "Oink," said the piglet. "I think she's hungry," said Mr. Watson. "Is that a pig?" said Eugenia Lincoln. Eugenia Lincoln lived next door, and she did not approve of surprises or pigs. "It is," said Mrs. Watson. "Can you believe our luck?" "Don't be ridiculous," said Eugenia Lincoln. "A pig is not lucky at all." "Do you think perhaps the piglet would like a bottle of warm milk?" said Baby Lincoln. Baby was Eugenia's youngest sister, and she was fond of surprises and piglets. Mr. Watson scratched his head. "A bottle of milk? I don't know. This is all so unpredictable." "Leave it to me," said Baby Lincoln. "Oink," said the piglet again. Mrs. Watson picked up the piglet and took her inside. She wrapped her in a blanket. "Have you ever seen anyone so darling?" she said. "Never," said Mr. Watson. "Here is the warm milk," said Baby Lincoln. "I have it right here." Eugenia said, "This is absurd." The piglet did not think it was absurd at all. She drank the entire bottle. And then she burped and oinked and went looking for more. "Oh my goodness," said Mr. Watson. "Watch out," said Eugenia. "She seems to like toast very much," said Baby. "Oh, the darling, darling thing," said Mrs. Watson. "Mr. Watson," said Mrs. Watson, "perhaps you would like to hold her for a bit?" "Certainly," said Mr. Watson. He took the piglet in his arms. He rocked her. He hummed. "How extraordinary," said Mr. Watson. "She is a porcine wonder." "This piglet is a wish come true," said Mrs. Watson. "What a mercy she is," said Baby. "There you go," said Mr. Watson. "We will call her Mercy." "She is not a mercy," said Eugenia. "She is a pig." "Oink, oink," said the piglet. "You cannot name a pig Mercy," shouted Eugenia. But they did name her Mercy. She was entirely unpredictable. She was not at all ordinary. She was very, very loved. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of Sunday Storytime. Have a great week.
Hi, Baltz Bears. Remember during the first week of school, I introduced you to some of my interests like baking and Lego and the beach? Well, something you don't know about me is a family tradition. Every year, on the first day of school, I used to bake my family chocolate chip cookies for when they came home. I make my chocolate chip cookies from scratch with the following ingredients: flour, baking soda, sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla, a pinch of salt, and my family's favorite, chocolate chips. First, I cream the butter. Then I add the sugar and eggs. After that, I combine flour, salt, and baking soda into the mixing bowl. Next, I add the kids' favorite, the chocolate chips. Now, the mix is ready for the baking sheet. I use a mini ice cream scoop to portion out each cookie. In the oven they go and bake for 10 minutes. When the timer goes off, the cookies rest on the baking sheet for 1 minute. Finally, I move the cookies to the cooling rack and wait patiently for the kids to get home from their first day of school. I'm wondering what some of your family traditions might be.
Good evening, Baltz Bears, and welcome back to another episode of Mindful Minute. Last week, you learned about two important parts of your brain. You learned about your guard dog brain, and you learned about your wise owl brain. Now, your guard dog brain, otherwise known as lizard brain, is the part of your brain that keeps you safe. It acts without thinking. It's the part of your brain that holds your feelings. Now, your wise owl brain, otherwise known as wizard brain, is the part of your brain that helps you to learn. It helps you focus. It's responsible for you being able to make good decisions and be a good friend. Your guard dog does have an important job. It goes into action immediately when you are faced with something that you believe to be scary or dangerous. Well, you don't need your guard dog brain at school because you're safe at school. What you do need at school is your thinking brain, your wise owl brain. This evening, we are going to learn to notice when our guard dog is about to come out and start barking. If you can notice when your guard dog is about to come out, you can try a calming tool to help calm that guard dog down so it doesn't start barking. If your guard dog is getting ready to come out and start barking, you're going to notice some changes happening in your body. Your body's going to begin to feel uncomfortable. You may notice that you're not thinking clearly, and it's going to be really hard to make good decisions. Let's find out what happens in your body when your guard dog is about to bark. Your stomach might begin to hurt. You might just get a funny feeling in your tummy, like butterflies. Your heart might begin to beat very fast. You might get a headache. Your legs might feel shaky. You might find that your fists are in tight balls. You just might have a tight feeling throughout your body, or your body might feel hot. Have you ever had any of these things happen to your body? These changes in your body are warning signs to your wise owl brain that your guard dog may come out and start barking at any time. When you notice these warning signs, you can try a calming tool like slow breathing to calm that guard dog down. This week, pay attention to your body and see if you can notice any changes happening. When you notice those warning signals, try slow breathing to calm down your guard dog. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mindful Minute. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, Bolt Bears. It's Mrs. Roach. Some of you might know me as Miss Trait. Are you ready for this week's big question? What tradition did Mrs. Eveland do with her kids on the first day of school? Don't forget to turn your answers in by Wednesday to the blue boxes because we are off school on Thursday for Yom Kippur. Good luck!
Hey guys, it's Miss Persani. Don't forget to like and share this video, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another episode. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, you rock!